Is it your sense that the deadline is going to be missed, that it is likely that DHS, the other parts of DHS, will shut down for a while?
Yeah, I don't see any middle ground popping up right now. You know, when the President of the United States talks about, well, we've got to fund FEMA, and you have to be voting for this, and you vote against FEMA. Just a few months ago, he was talking about dismantling FEMA. Seems to forget that much of the reason that we need FEMA is his total disregard for climate change and the extreme weather events that we're experiencing. So the president's hypocrisy is showing here. I don't want to shut down any level of government. The irony is, ICE has been so dramatically funded, you know, they won't be hurting in a shutdown. Their budget was tripled. And when I talk, again, about a lack of body cameras, they got all the money in the world to buy what they need.
Okay, Congressman Mike Quigley of Illinois, thanks very much for your insights. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a good morning.
Valleyfair.org. Five Call says it all. Would that tactic work on you?
Not at all. Once a cheat, always a cheat.
I'm not gonna. Can I ask a question? Just a personal question, just a yes or no answer. Have you been cheated on before?
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, because that was spoken like someone who's been there and knows.
I think we all knew that.
Yeah. I just wanted to be clear. I didn't want to make assumptions. I don't want to make assumptions. There's one. Let's go to Karen. Karen.
Oh, again.
Report on you. I was interested to give what? I was interested.
The Stonewall Inn.
For them to take the flag out of what is considered the first and only LGBTQ monument in the United States and try to say it's political or identity-tied politics or whatever they want to say is absolutely insane.
She said the flag was not flying at the monument as a political statement. It disappeared a few weeks after the Department of the Interior issued guidance on displaying non-agency flags in the national park system. It said that only the U.S. flag and Department of the Interior flag were permitted. Trans rights activist Angelica Christina was born 15 years after the Stonewall Rebellion took place.
What this space means to me is a sense of belonging and a sense of community.
The flag's removal was upsetting to Angelica, but she wasn't completely stunned because a year ago, references to transgender and queer people were removed from the Stonewall Monument's website.
And now a year later, I'm sadly not surprised that they had the audacity to remove the 8-colored flag right from our neighborhood, right from our safe home, because let's be clear, the West Village has always been a safe space for LGBTQIA+ people.
While the flagpole stands empty, smaller gay and transgender pride flags still decorate other parts of the monument. Local elected leaders are making plans to try to return a full-size pride flag to the pole later in the week. For NPR News, I'm Steve Castenbaum at the Stonewall National Monument in New York.
There's a 6 months card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
Woman power all the way. I can't fathom that.
You're always a cheater. That's not my point. My point is this whole thing is to make himself feel better.
Exactly.
And with no regard to how it's going to affect her.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And it is going to affect her. Today, when she walks out of her house, people are going to be taking pictures of her.
Greg,
What?
she hasn't been there in the village.
They have cameras, dude.
I know.
They have phones. This woman's going to be in the paper today with her name and a photo, and she's going to be walking around with her hand in front of her face because she doesn't want that kind of attention. It's kind of like the lady at the Coldplay show. You know?
Yep.
She's just doing something up there, minding her own business, and boom, next day her life is ruined. You know? And in retrospect, having known what we know now, there was really nothing that big to be going on. You know? One more. Crystal, what do you say?
Like, bro, see ya. My dad's a pack. I'm out.
He's out.
Love Crystal.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, we got one vote,
How'd
Kelly.
you get that, Kelly? How'd you get that apple, Kelly? There you go. And where were you on that, Scotty?
Oh, I said no.
You said no. Okay, all right. All right, little wild.
Bates. And Home Share Vermont, matching those sharing their home with.
All right, little too, so. Just being
A dedicated advisor can help build a flex health plan. Learn more at Fidelity.
honest.
These reporters, they ask all these questions and they get an honest answer. What are you gonna do?
He took a moment to grandstand to right a wrong that he created, and he threw her under the bus by doing so. That's how I see it.
That's the way you
You know, that's
I
okay.
would have done it after the Olympics because right now he could be swimming in it.
He could be swimming in it today. We wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
He's
even
not
know.
swimming in anything anymore.
There's always someone. You could say that, and I agree
Well,
with
I
you.
also
about
thought
it.
there'd be some
There's,
people that
you know,
agree, because I know a lot of women that have gone back to cheaters and they're fine with it.
I think it's even worse. He waited so long to tell her. Yeah, 3 months, and then he did it a week before the Olympics. You know, okay, right on. Erica will be in later. We'll ask her what she said. I know the answer. I absolutely know the answer.
Activism. Armas led the campaign. Roberto Gonzalez, who was wide.
A bit.
We will be right back.
Maduro. For that work, he was abducted 14 months ago.
I tried to go to my car, and there was around 8 people with masks and with guns. They aimed at me, and they just took me by force.
He was one of about 2,000 Venezuelans imprisoned in the election's aftermath. Some estimate hundreds remain behind bars to this day. Armas, though, is one of at least 30 political prisoners released under the interim President Delcy Rodriguez's government this past weekend. And when I got him on the line, it seemed like he still couldn't believe he was actually free.
So everything has been so quick, so I feel great, but I think I still need some time to process everything, you know?
Yeah, 14 months is a long time. What was the conditions like when you were held?
The first stage was the moment when I was kidnapped, and then they put a plastic bag around my face to cut the air from me so I can breathe with that. They wanted to know about Maria Corina Machado location, about Juan Pablo Guanipan location. Then I was moved to a prison, was in a really small cell with 37 persons. There was a lot of rats inside this cell. We have to go to the bathroom in a plastic bag.
Oh my gosh.
There was no food. And these 4 or 5 days in this condition was really, really difficult. The third stage was in El Helicoide, maybe the most famous or the most important torture center of Venezuela, or maybe of the region. And the final stage, the fourth stage, was a time in prison, but with surprise. For example, I finally, after almost 11 months, I received a visit from my mom and dad.
Now, you were in prison when the United States struck Venezuela, took Nicolas Maduro and his wife earlier this year. How did you learn about it, and what do you make of the actions they took?
That was a really strange day for me. We hear this really strange sound, an explosion, and we were kind of expecting something to happen. After 2 or 3 hours, we hear another guy in the prison that started to sing the Venezuelan national anthem, and he later screamed, Venezuela is now free. Venezuela is now free. And in that moment, we understood that maybe the United States were having an operation in Venezuela, but we didn't have the entire information for 2 days.
And when you understood what had happened, what did you think?
So I was with mixed emotions because, of course, I was happy. For me, was really happy for everyone in this prison to learn about the Maduro situation. But we have this dream that maybe we will start the transition to democracy in that moment. But the truth is that
Jesus Armas is a Venezuelan opposition leader who was among the political prisoners released from detention last weekend. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Flexible lease options to fit any.
With Kelly.
Good morning. Three road reportedly will discuss recent U.S. talks with Iran that focused on that country's nuclear program. Trump said either Iran makes a deal or, quote, we'll have to do something very tough. Jaffrey man who was allegedly involved in a violent home invasion in Litchfield will not be going to prison. Budget decisions need to be made in the future, and that housing plays a part in nearly every issue facing the city. The FAA says all flights to and from El Paso, Texas are being halted for 10 days for special security reasons. The announcement said no pilots may operate an aircraft in the areas covered by the federal notice, but did not elaborate on the special security reasons. The man responsible for a SWAT standoff in Florida is identified as rapper I Heart Memphis. So to take on their...
And we're delivering the news here fairly biased. And I'm looking at it, and now you're looking at it from the trans point of view. Yeah. As in, what's in it for me? Yeah, what's in it for Mr. Trans? And that's what I want to talk about today. What's in it for me? What is in it for Mr. Trans? And this is the Mr. Trans program. And we're looking at the news from the trans point of view. Looking at it from every angle. All the various viewpoints. And pushing the trans agenda. Asking and explaining what it is. What is the trans agenda? And who is it for? We're going to be looking at these machines. And these machines can map the human brain. So we're going to be looking at that. Taking a look at the sports and the weather. And your local scene as we cut to the affiliates out there on your local net station. And you might be watching today or listening today by your phone or by your phone which you are driving while you're also using a car. Now think about that one for a second. But this is the Mr. Trans show, whether you're using your car now and driving your phone or whatever it is, we're delivering the news fairly biased. And of course, friends, we're delivering the news fairly and with a bias, and that is the trans bias. And by the way, this is the Mr. Trans show, and my name is Mr. Trans, and we're delivering the news. And we're coming to you live from the center of the trans universe. And we're talking about questioning, if you will, and pushing, of course, at all times, the trans agenda. And that starts with me introducing myself. My name is Mr. Trans. And maybe you're tuning in now, you may have this come across your algorithm or whatever it is. Or you're tuning in and you're thinking to yourself, well, what is the trans agenda? I need to know, I need to understand this. Explain it to your kids or whatever. Oh, and by the way, this is not an all ages show. right here. This is the news. Now, if you want your kids watching the news, go ahead, tune in. But we have various guests on the program that we do not censor. And so you never know what you're going to get on the Mr. Trans show. But one thing you are going to get always at all times is the trans agenda. And that's what we're pushing here. I'm pushing it now. Somebody said, well, what do you got against trans? I said, hey, my name is Mr. Trans. So let's move on. Yeah. And this is the Mr. Trans show. And my name is Mr. Trans. And my pronouns are he and him. Or they, or whatever it is, or whatever you say. Just make sure you spell my name correctly. It's capital T. And then all lowercase letters in the following order. R-A-N-S. And that spells trans. As in, this is the Mr. Trans show. And my name is Mr. Trans. Now, we can move on from that if you're comfortable. Or maybe you're stuck on my name. You can't say it or whatever it is for some reason. Maybe it's a religious thing. Maybe you were just, I don't know, maybe you just don't like the way it sounds. Or maybe you're afraid of my name. Or whatever it is. And look, I don't care. I can only say that if you don't want to acknowledge my name to me when you're talking to me, then why should I waste any of my time talking to you? So why don't we just start there? Hi, my name is Mr. Trans. What's yours? You see how easy that is? Hey, look, man, whatever you want, whatever name you tell me to call you is what I'm going to call you. And whatever you don't want me to call you, I'm not going to call you that. Now, I don't see how that's complicated. The only way that you would have something that looks different than that is if someone either didn't care what other people, how they thought or felt about anything, whatever they did, whatever they said, or whatever it is, or however it is that they act. I don't care what it does to you. I don't care how it makes you feel. I'm going to do it. It's my right. It's my noble right. It was my noble right. And all that, you know. Well, let me tell you something. Just because you can do something and just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not a good idea. All the time. Without some guidelines. And that's only if you don't care, if you have no concern for anybody's feelings. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you how you should feel about anyone or anything. I'm only going to say this. I don't really care if you don't like my name or whatever it is. If you're not going to acknowledge me and use my name, the name I told you, I'm telling you that's my name, then why should I even waste any time talking to you? Yeah. Why? So, that's it. Let's start there. That's the trans agenda as far as I'm concerned. Hi, my name is Mr. Trans. What's yours? Yeah, I'll tell you what. You want me to call you by your name, then you call me by mine. How's that sound? Is it complicated? Look, like I said, maybe it's a religious thing. I don't know. And I don't really care. But why do I want to waste my time talking to somebody that's not even going to call me what I want them to call me? Sir, or madam, or whatever, or whoever it is, or whoever you are, Miss, or Mrs., or Ms., or Mr., or them, or they, or you, or hey you, or huh, or you in, you out. I don't care. Whatever you want me to call you, as long as it doesn't interfere with anything that's going on in my day or my agenda, I'm going to call you by that. And if I can't do it, I'm going to tell you why. So if you don't want to call me by my name, just tell me, hey, look, man, it's a religious thing. I can't say your name because of my religion. Or I can't say your name because I don't like the way it sounds. Fine. Now, was that, I mean, I would consider that to be courteous, even professional, if it needs to be in that kind of a setting. Sure, of course. Thank you for the oh, sure, great, now I understand. Great, thanks. Boy, wasn't it wonderful that we can just talk to each other and get along. But you have to tell me that I can't, that I'm not, look, I'm telling you right now, listen to me, I'm just going to say this again. I want to move on from this. I really do. I really, really, really wish we could move on from this. I can. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can. But if you can't, then you're going to have to leave it here without me because I'm moving on. My name is Mr. Trans. If you want to get with the program, acknowledge me, acknowledge my name, or maybe we'll just everyone go without names. Right? Well, why do I have to use your name but you don't use mine? Yeah, why is that? I'm going to ask that again. It's a simple question. Why do I need to call you by your name but you don't call me by mine? Well, somebody said, well, how about all this over here and you can't be this and that? Well, yeah, you can and you are because I am and I is and you ain't, obviously. So, yeah, if you can't even say my name, then I'm not even going to waste my time talking to you. I'll just point and I'll say, hey, you. Why don't I just say that? That one. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You decide. You decide what it is that you want to be called, how you want me to refer to you as your name when I'm talking to you. And then, if I have something about my nature, or maybe it's my religion, or whatever it is, I don't know, I can't say it, I'll tell you. Hey, look, man, I was raised in a house where I wasn't allowed to say that name. But only in this case, only when I'm referring to certain people. Or whatever it is.